This conference will now be recorded.
So what I was saying is that you have one Excel file with any sort of information you have in that, the item inventory and order information. Suppose you have a Excel file like that, and through Python, suppose let's say you want to read the file, no? You want to insert some columns, you want to write all these operations. Let's say how to do it. So here basically I'll show you how to do that all this topic. Then based on that, I will assign some questions, which is more of a project. Okay. So let's start it first. Let's try to do that. So just remember, whenever you are working with an Excel, right? So we need to import an library that is called, let's say, import open file. So this is the your external library which we need to import it to work within Excel file. So I'm just renaming this as an Excel file. And suppose you want to load it, the file, whichever the file I have. So let's say I have the file called order details, which I want to load it. So what I'll do, so I'll take a variable here. Let's take workbook equals to w equals to. I have a method called excel dot load underscore workbook. Okay, work. Inside that, I need to say file name equals to the orders detail dot XML. Okay. Now here you can ask me one question that whether the file name required any kind of path or not. Yes, suppose I am working this the Jupyter file on one folder, right? This is my folder. On the same folder, I have my Excel file. If that is the case, then we don't require any path. But if your Jupyter file and your Excel file locations both are different, then yes, we need to give the complete path. It will work. Okay, this makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Now let's execute it. This one, execute it. So see, spelling is mistake. Open files. Okay, now this one. Now this works with WB. You have hold of all the files here. Now we'll see what are the options I have. So suppose from the workbook I want to see some sheet names. What are the sheet names I have? So if you enter it, it will give you as a list of different sheet. This is the one sheet, this is one sheet, this is one sheet. This is the function called sheet names. Okay. Second, out of this sheet, suppose you want to understand which sheet is active, right? So I will say WB, sorry, workbook dot active. Okay. So by default, whichever is the first sheet on your Excel file, that is the active one. Or I can say the zero index on the Excel file or the first sheet, whichever is there, that is the active sheet. But you can change the active sheet based on the index as well. How to do that? So you can say WB dot active equals to, let's take 1. Means the index number now it will be 1. Now after that, suppose you are saying that WB dot active, then it will be the next sheet whichever is available on the in your file, that will be called the index. Make sense? This is
Active means is it open there or like
active
we
means
have to
active sales. Active, current one.
okay.
And instead of that, suppose you want to, when you are saying the wb.active, you are saying that this is the worksheet, the worksheet name is this. Suppose you want just the title of the sheet, inventory level, that's it. So for that, we need to use wb.active.title. Then we'll get only the title of the sheet. Fine?
Okay.
Now, what about the sheet I have, right? I have three sheets. All the contents, or I want to just represent all the seeds into a variable. So all the time I will not write item underscore info dot this method or inventory underscore level dot this method. So for that you can take some variable like this. Say items equals to workbook. Which workbook I want to take? This is the first workbook I'm taking. So workbook is an object. From there I'm taking the item info of the sheet and I'm assigning the variable items. In this way, what will happen? Your variable will be very easy to handle it. Right? So now next one, say inventory, I say workbook of this. Last one, let's take orders equals to workbook of. So this looks like what kind of declaration from whatever you understand, whatever the pattern learning you have done. It looks like what kind of declaration when you are fetching some information, it represents what, like anything reference point you have for this. No? Okay. So it's just like a dictionary. The object inside that we need to put the key, something like that. So that it will be assigned everything to that variable. Okay. Now let's see from this, let's say from the items info, I want to fetch some information. Okay. So you know in Excel, each cell, because I'm talking about this. So this cell is B3, right? B column, third row. This one is C column, third row. This one
Mm-hmm.
is A column, eighth row. So this
Yeah.
you can reference this as a data in Excel, like B3, C3, C4, A8, anything. Right? So let's try to fetch the traditional way how the Excel works. Then I will tell you what is the Python way. So let's go to this one. And suppose the items is held by the item info. So I will say items of B1. Okay, let's take B3. So whatever the there on the B3 cells, that it will fetch. Let's enter. Now, this is only saying that normal B3 if you put it, is saying that information about the sales. But if you say this item dot value, then it will look like item. It looks like a dictionary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't?
Yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
from the dictionary also, if you want to get it, you need to use the value method, right?
Value.
So, so this is the one way to fetch it, single individual things. And another, this is the traditional way of Excel. Like taking the reference of that cell. Another one I have that is called items dot sale. This is a function I have. So here we need to define row equals to 4, column equals to 2. Dot well. If I say row equals to 4 and column equals to 2, which cell it is? Okay. Again,
Yeah.
column number 2, row number 4,
B4.
B4. Right. But over there in the B4, it will give you that. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes. But here, this is only the
Uh,
individual cells. Sorry, go ahead. Any questions?
Nothing, sir, nothing.
So here I have, we are just fetching the information about like single cell. Suppose you want to know on that particular sheet how many rows I have and how many columns I have. Right. So for that we have a function called uh, items dot max underscore row. So I have total in this sheet I have a total 14 rows. Okay, 14 rows I have. Same way if I say items dot max underscore column, we'll get how many columns I have. 6 columns, 14 rows I have on this particular sheet I have right now. Okay, make sense?
Mhm.
Now suppose based on this, I want to just fetch whatever there on the B. Let me open this Excel file and I want to understand that. Let's go to the item info. Under this column, right, the B column, whatever the data I have, I want to just read everything using the max row function. Because row wise I want to need all the 14 rows data for them from the B. Right? So let's try to do that. Makes sense? Question is clear, right? I'll do that now. Okay?
Yes.
So we are going to write a for loop here for let's say the row in range. Okay? Start from the one and I say items dot max underscore row plus one. Why I'll do plus one here?
Because
mm,
it starts like
-1. It takes the -1, right? Ma-
Right.
Indexes.
Uh-huh. Correct. That's what. Always you know that the index will start always take the minus one value, right? This is a basic rule, right, in Python.
mm,
So constant is the B and the variable which I'm putting this one. So here I'm just taking a help of the upstream. So this is B is constant and the row will be changing, right? Row will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 till it will go to the next row. So the first one it will be B1 and under that what is the item I have? B1 dot value. B2, B2 dot value. So that's why just to formatting I just use a upstream. Let's understand. Let's try to enter execute this. We'll get the data here. So this is the item. In the B1, I have product name, which is heading. And from the B2, I have everything as a data. Right? Go through this.
so we are randomly giving sale cell value like B,
Randomly, we
like
are not giving
B.
randomly.
So like kind of
Ran-
we are not finding with product with the field name, but we are finding with the cell value. Okay, what is on this B2, what is on B3.
Randomly, where you are putting it. We are taking right B. I want to read the complete B, right?
Hmm.
Randomly, we are not doing it. It is item dot next row, right? From the B cell.
Okay.
I'm not getting that question. What is
Yeah,
randomly?
no, what means generally um, we were finding with product name. Okay, what product we have, but here we don't know, and we are giving B1 or B2. What is on the B1? What is on B sale?
That you
So,
need to know from the Excel. Right? Excel works like that, right?
hmm, okay,
You are working with Excel file. You're not working with the database.
okay, okay. Hmm.
Now let's see. I want to add one column here extra. Let's
Hmm.
take. I want to create a column called USD price in this on the G column. Okay. So I will first, if I say items of G1 dot
Hmm.
value, what I'll get it right now. Is there any
Null.
G1? No,
Excel
no value.
file.
Nothing. Nothing it will be blank. Okay. So now what I will do on the items on the first G1, I will assign some column. In the sense, just like that, item of G1 equals to, let's take the column which I want to create is called the USD price. Now if I execute it, it will give you the USD price. Okay. Now the value, now we are trying to create a column first with the heading called USD price. Fine. This is the column we created. But till now, if you open your Excel file as well, this column is not yet active. It is still on the Python, on the Python cache. It's not yet. So under this heading we created, which is called the USD underscore price on the G. Now we need to fill these values, right? What exactly the values should be for the USD price. Right? So how to fill it? Let's see. You're getting me here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for
Yes, sir.
that, let's take I have a rate just 89 or 88, something like that. So what does it want to do it here in this case is, so we have inserted a G column and this values into calculate. So here something like, what is this? So here this column, I want to execute it using the price. Okay. So something like the price into the exchange rate. So we have a 5.99 into the rate. Whatever the rate would be, this is the value we need to put it. Fine. One, this one into the rate. Then this column needs to be filled up. The rate is we already defined in Python, which is 0.88. So we need to check the C column and multiply with the exchange rate and need to fill it the G column. Okay? Make sense here? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now how, if I ask you, can you do that? Say yes or no.
Yes,
Anyway.
sir.
Yeah, we'll try.
Now, so let's take on the column, right? The first cell, the G1, is the heading that we already done. Now we have to fill the values from the below row, second row. So I
Yeah.
will start my range from 2 in this case. Okay. Then I'll say
I
items
dot.
dot max underscore row plus 1. Right. This is my range. Now what I exactly want to do it here in this case. So we want to insert to the, so let's take let's say items of, let's say take a help of F string here, which where you want to insert. You want to insert in G, right? With the row. So this will be like G2, G3, G4, G5, G6, G7 till the loop is done. This where you want to store it. Correct? What you want to store it here? I will say items of, it's okay, F string here from the C, right? From the C, we will say row. So it will be like C2, C3, C4, C5, everything. Correct? So I will say dot value, right, into my rate. This way into storage. Yes? Makes sense? This is, so
Yeah.
whatever the values I have on the C2 value into rate, C3 into value rate. So it will be continuous process throughout the loop. Okay. Now shift enter. It will create, but till this executed, but it will not store or it will not display on your file. So for that, we need to save the file. Workbook.save, and two things you can do it here. The file, whichever you read it, right, that file you can give it completely. So when you are giving the same file name while doing the save, right, it will override the existing one and it will create a new column there. But if you don't want to override, you want to create a new file, whatever changes you are doing it, then you need to say new one. But there is a choice, we can override. If you give the same file name, it will override. If you give a new file name, it will create a new file under the folder. Okay, let's do that. With a new file and just enter it. Now, if I open your machine, automatically there is new file, new one file got created. Let's open this file. And here, if you go to the item info, there is automatically there is a USD price got added. Okay, make sense?
Yeah.
So this is the way you can add your column or rows or whatever you mean. Fine. Make sense? Any questions?
Yes, sir. No.
Are good on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's say the last operation which you can do is called the inserting columns and deleting columns. Okay. So for that we have some function. So let's take items underscore insert underscore columns. If I'm not wrong, insert columns. It will take a parameter here, which is nothing but a variable of index. So let's take idx equals to 6. So what does it mean? Let me explain. Let's go to the order detail file and let's go to the item info. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is the sixth number of column. right? And suppose the sixth number column is euro price right now. Right? Suppose you have inserted a column, insert dot column on the sixth number position. Then what happened to the sixth number index which is already there? Whether it will be deleted, whether it will be moved, what exactly will happen if you insert a column under the same position. So in Excel also you can do it, right? Like this. The same operation we will do it in this case. Right click and you can say insert. Right? So if you insert it, either it will be before and after. But in Python you have a choice that it will be before to the index. Right? So let's do that. Index equals to 6. Let me close the file. And if I insert this, insert columns. Yeah. Insert underscore calls, it will not columns, insert underscore calls. So now under the sixth position, say items of the sixth position will be A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. Now if I say F1, I can insert a column here. Let's take this is column is called the GBP price. Now if I say item dot F1 dot value, you'll get the GBP price. Then what happened to the earlier one, which was there on the F column, which was the euro price? So let's see that what happened to that. Do I have a G column now? Let's see. G dot euro price. So what happened when you're inserting on a particular position, sixth number position, there was already a column called euro price was there. When you are inserting a column on that particular position, automatically Python shift that particular column to the seventh index. And in the sixth index, it is allowed to create another column called euro price. Make sense?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So the same way you can say delete. So if I say items underscore delete columns. Okay. Now under the sixth position right now, I have GBP price. Okay. And the seventh position, it will be there the euro price right now. Now if I delete the sixth column, okay, sixth index column, then if I say items dot f1 dot value, then it will get what should it get it?
Null.
Huh?
I mean,
Null.
empty. Yeah.
No, it will get the euro price because
Yeah,
which
because
was there on the seventh, again it will come to the sixth position. So inserting, it will move one position ahead, and deleting, it will come back again to the one position back. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yeah.
Any questions on this?
No. Good.
No,
Thank
sir. Mm.
So these are the basic, or these are the all the operations which we can do through the Excel. Now what I need to do is that I need to assign one Excel file to you guys. Okay, then I will uh, assign some couple of questions based on this. Okay, suppose you have this order info. I don't have a text column. Don't have a total column. I will ask you to put the formula in the Python and fill this column. Okay. Then I will ask you how many orders by this person have ordered. Count it and give it. There will be under the file. I will assign this project to you. Like using this Excel file, I will put some questions around 10 to 15 questions under this. That you need to do it with the code and put the Jupyter file that. what you are working on, give me that Jupyter file to me so that I can verify. Okay, make sense?
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Right. So any part, I think I am done. So now I can take another 10 minutes for your doubts, anything you have, or any questions you have, something, then you can ask me under the Python also. Or even from the Power BI also, if you want to ask anything, you can ask.
For importing file, can you explain first step, the top one?
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
like in importing, when you import the Excel file, yeah, on the top of
Mhm.
that, yeah, can you explain it first?
Nothing. It's just we are
I,
importing the package. Then we have a function called load.workbook. And we are saying that file name equals to this.
okay. So when we download the file and if we save on other location, then
Then we
we
need to,
give path
we need to give the proper path. Correct.
instead of name, just path. Okay,
Path with the file name. Only
path.
path.
Hmm. Okay. So,
Okay.
hmm.
Any other questions from any of your learning? Ask, you can ask me. I'm open for another 10 minutes. Then we can wind up.
Sure, sir. Uh, in Give me 2 minutes, sir.
Now can ask you one question. How confident you guys? I asked in the my evening batch as well, or your morning, whatever I'm doing after this. That same question I'm asking. How confident you are going for the interview?
Mm, For me, Python, I'm little okay, and SQL okay. Power BI, I need to practice little more. Samay. This week,
Hmm.
mostly, I will work on it.
This question applies to everybody.
The need need to practice a lot. Like, um, yeah, maybe after doing that project. Yeah.
Uh, can I ask one question to
Yes, sir.
all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you putting a dedicated time to your learning?
Yes, sir. Actually, uh, we are giving time, sir. Actually, daily I'm sitting for 2 hours, like for doing some project and learning something else, and thinking. If I do more practice, means I'll get little more confidence, sir.
Actually, yeah, sir. That was when we were doing a Power BI DAX functions that we need to do. I need to do more practice. That time I could
Yeah.
not do, and now it's kind of very over for me because that time I really need to do practice a lot. But I could not do that time. And in the last classes of SQL also.
And out of uh, like out of three from who not submitted the SQL project?
So me, I did not submit.
Even I did not submit.
I did it, sir.
Yeah, I know. Rajini, you submitted that. I know that.
Mm.
So I tried to
This
do that
is
project, but every time when I was trying, I was thinking the way and I was getting stuck on that. So 2, 3 days I tried, but then um, again I could not do
let's
that.
see. I'll tell you basic thing I want to say to you. Market right now is on correction. Correction in the sense you know what is the situation. Right? Hiring, everything is going right. So under that, suppose you want to go for an interview, the market is very tough, right? Very tough. And they will ask you also very tough. There is that era is gone. That like simple thing they will ask you sometime you will have availability on the interviews. That era is gone. If you are keeping something on your resume, you need to make sure they will ask you all difficult things. That's why if you saw also in my courses everywhere, right? So I just try to put some difficult things. This is how to do that, how to. That's what I'm asking each and every time I'll ask the question. Please do it because they will ask you this kind of questions now. So if you not practice properly, this will be very hard for you guys. I'm saying very frankly. Okay. Anyway, stopping the sharing. Any questions you have? Ask me.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, for resume preparation, do we need to include all these things? How many years we need to keep
correct.
uh, as
Suppose
experience?
you are correct. Absolutely. Suppose you have put in 7 to 8 years of experience total, then it is just prioritize. Okay. So you are more confident on the Power BI, then you can put 3 or 4 years for that. And you have very less things to the SQL, you can put 1.5 year or 2 years. And very less to the Python, you can put 1 year. So just segregate the way your understanding to the subject.
Mhm. I mean, like when we add Python in 1.5 years, something like that, then we need to
Hmm.
include Power BI as well, right? For that?
Yes, everything because that there will be multi skills requirement nowadays. Right?
Yes.
There will be no
Yeah.
single requirement. Means one Python will not help you, one Power BI also will not help
Yeah.
you. And from the next week we will start the Azure Data Factory, which will also will be helpful for you. This is kind of a cloud ETL, how to load the data and all. But also you should know that you can keep it.
Is Azure Data Factory is like Python, sir, or it's like SQL?
Nothing like that. This is a complete different story. We will
Okay.
use the SQL there. Yes, we will use the SQL there. And even you can use the Python code there also. There is a possibility, but that part, if you want, we can skip it. It's not required.
And, and sir, can you show us any real-time examples for real-time projects in Power BI? So I need to see that actually. I want to
How I
actually.
can show the real-time projects. I'm just giving all the data to you. I'm not saying that you please
I mean,
analyze from that.
yes, like in real time, they won't be like only 10 to 15 columns, only 90 rows, 90
That's
data is implied, right? In
see,
real
see,
time,
see.
it will be
That's
more.
fine.
Mm,
That's fine. It doesn't matter how many column, how many rows you have. Ultimate thing is what you know there. Your data can be used, but the concept will not go out, right?
yes.
And I can't show that real-time data. not possible.
Okay. If you have anything means, can you send us, sir, to just overlook that, sir?
No, how I can send a real time resume? That's a
I mean,
sensitivity,
like,
right?
oh, okay, okay, then, sir.
Mhm.
Thanks.
There any certification will help us, like for Power BI or